those of you that are returning, and those of you that are new, welcome to my platform. My name is Astraea Love, and I'm going to be doing a reading for you guys today. So I hope everybody has had a good day. Again, please don't let my readings are timeless, which means whenever you get to this reading, there's going to be messages in here for you. I do have a different setup. I'm still going to be probably working on some lighting. Thank you. That's better. Thank you. But yeah, so this will be the setup for a while due to the house being too hot in other sections of the house. And I may bring another light in here at some point to bring more light into the situation. But we will see. I just basically barely just got it set up. So, all right. I hope you guys have had a good day. God bless you guys. Thank you for spending your time with me. Thank you for spending your time with God. I'm just making sure that all of the cards are in the upright. I never started reading with them being in the reverse. Okay. So we are calling upon the Most High God and the Holy Spirit, Jesus Christ, the Ascended Masters, and our spiritual team of highest light and resonance. And we're asking that all of that combined, including the archangels, put a protective shield around us, but also uncloaking this platform so that the people that need to see these messages see them. I just want to say, God, thank you for everything that you've done. Thank you for everything that you're doing. And thank you for everything that you're going to do for me and for my collective. I love you. I love you. I love you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And thank you for prospering us. Thank you for protecting us. And thank you for being there for us. All honor, glory, worship, and praise goes to my higher self, your higher self, the Most High God, the divine realm, for everything that I'm able to do. Would not even be able to do it without God. Just to let you guys know, if any of you have any personal questions, you can send me a $20 super chat with your question, and I'll pause the collective reading, and then I will answer your question, and I'll set a 20-minute timer, okay? All right, so by watching my readings, you're agreeing to the contract of being in control of yourself, being responsible for yourself, and with any of the information being channeled. Please be on your best behavior, because the Most High God is watching and the Holy Spirit is listening. By watching my readings, you're agreeing to not attack, bully, or persecute me, or anybody in the comment, or anybody in the chat. Yeah. So no judgments. Again, it's Christians that go around judging people are not real Christians. I can tell you that right now. All right. So Matthew 7:1-5, judge not that you be not judged. Don't judge others. Okay. All right. So I'm going to talk about the two books that are in the description box below before we get into the reading. The first book is called The Truth of God. It's Advanced Intuitive Living Workbook. Now, for those of you that are not in the United States, it came to my awareness, I think last night, that some other countries, for some reason, can't order The Truth of God or don't have it on Amazon. So I have put in the description box below a link to the Kindle ebook. So if you are in another country, you can use Kindle and then purchase it on ebook. I think actually like right now there's a promotion going to where if you sign up for Kindle, you can get the book for free or something like that. But that's only going to be temporary because again, this person needs to make money for this book. I mean, I'm not promoting them or anything, but I will tell you that the techniques in this book is how I function on a day-to-day basis. Okay, so the first technique from The Truth of God is the God technique, which gives you the ability to rise above whatever's going on so that you can vibrationally get above it, okay? It helps you, well, for me, it takes me out of my ego consciousness and into the consciousness of my higher self, which is God, so that I can see things from a bigger picture and so that I can detach from whatever the situation is. It's extremely helpful to be able to do that so that you're not just feeling like most of my life, I've been felt stuck in the psychic realm, dealing with gifts and abilities that I did not understand or even have the ability to put words to. Okay, so then the joy versus anger technique is a technique that you'll see me use. When you see me ask yes and no questions, that's the technique I'm using so that I can get an immediate response back so I don't have to wait. Again, so I'm not having to say a prayer and then wait for a sign or a miracle. I can get an immediate response back, and then I'm able to make an assessment off of that. The joy versus anger technique works on clairsentient, which is the gift that everybody has. Everybody has clear feeling. Wow, I just saw this last thing on, as I opened the book to the last, I don't think I've ever seen this before. It says, the choice is yours. It is so simple. Like in the story just told, love, unconditional love. That is all there is. Everyone and everything's higher self is God. So the mind technique is another technique that I use from this book, and it gives me the ability to clear the mental and emotional baggage and belief systems that are no longer serving me, so that I don't keep walking around creating the same situations. And that is my greatest hope. Okay. And then you'll also see me from time to time use the 1-to-10 ratio technique. And that technique gives me the ability to assess things on a level of 1 being the lowest compatible, 10 being the highest compatible. Okay. And then within, sorry, you guys, I'm just trying to fix this so that the lighting is okay. Then within 1 to 10, that book will teach you how to get to that point, to where you can be like, okay, 1 being the lowest compatible, 10 being the highest compatible, where is this situation falling at? And then why is it at this number? Okay. All right. So the second book that I'm going to talk about that is linked in the description box below. Okay. Sorry, you guys. Again, this is a new setup, so that's why I'm like adjusting it and everything. Okay. So the second book that I'm going to talk about is called Vassago Tarot Card Spreads and Spells. Now, this book is written with the Ars Goetia Spirit Vassago. So just to let you guys know, when King Solomon was working with Vassago, tarot cards were not created then. So Vassago was like not as important then as he is now. He's a very in high demand spirit to work with, because he works with mapping the human consciousness. So I have not only this book linked if you want to learn to read cards for yourself and for others, but I also have the original Rider-Waite Tarot linked in the description box below. This exact deck that's got the description on the cards. Okay, so you can divide the tarot into 2 sections. One is the major arcana cards, which are the major transitions. The second section is the minor arcana cards, which are the not major transitions, I would say, even though the minor arcana cards are still important. Okay, maybe we'll read from the High Priestess today. So this book is created based upon the major arcana cards, which are the major transitions. And it gives you the ability to, well, first of all, it starts off with a prayer that's a lot longer than the one that I do at the very beginning. It starts off with also an initiation with Vassago, for those of you that are interested in doing that, connecting with his knowledge, because again, he is awesome. And then it goes into a 14 zodiac tarot card spread, where you shuffle the entire deck and you pull 2 cards for each position. One position will be your south node, where your ego's at, and then the other card will be your north node, where your destiny's at. And then it gives you a little bit of information on how to step into your north node and how to adopt the positive traits of the other zodiac signs. Okay, and then the spell that goes along with that is a psychic tarot card spell to tap into your own destiny, to step into your own destiny is what I should say. And then it starts off with the major, well, it goes into the major arcana, and the major arcana, again, are the major transitions. And so for each tarot card spread, there's going to be different tarot card positions and then a spell that goes along with that. So we're going to go to the High Priestess. And I'll read a little bit from that so you understand how this book works. Okay. So the mystery temple of the High Priestess. The High Priestess is the number 2. The answer is yes. The zodiac is Cancer and Taurus. The High Priestess holds both inner peace and strength. The High Priestess is a card that tells you that in the upcoming days you will be preoccupied, psychic, intuitive, and spiritually driven prophetess. The High Priestess does not overreact. She remains calm and sure of the outcome. She is a beautiful, mysterious, yet unattainable woman. So you will shuffle the entire deck of cards, and then you will pull one card for each position. And position 1 is the lunar crown of alchemy. That is the crown that's upon her head. So it says above the head of the High Priestess is the lunar crown of alchemy. The card pulled for this position will give you insight into the unconscious mind, the power of the lunar cycles, night side magic, psychic intuition, prophetic messages, and dreams. You will gain insight into how aligned you are with the lunar energies, magics, enchantments, lunar spell work, and with different cycles of the moon. If the card that is pulled for this position were to be the Moon Tarot card, that would be a very big double confirmation. Also, if the card that you pull for this position is a yes card, then you can be assured that you are in alignment with the lunar cycle of the moon. I'm going to go to position 3 because it's the actual High Priestess, the woman that you see sitting there. This card position shows you how adept you are to a spiritual practice in the workings of magic. What level of mastery and divine education have you recently achieved? If you have an upgrade or a level up coming, the card that you pull for this position can show you your spectacular ascent. This card will give you clues to your divine feminine nature and higher self. How in tune are you with your inner goddess? When do you allow yourself to be feminine energy, and when do you allow yourself to be masculine? If there is any inner guidance or divine power that's going to be passed down through your spiritual generation, that may come through the card that is pulled for this position. If you pull the High Priestess card for this position, you will know that it's a double confirmation for you. Also, if the card that you pull is a yes answer card, then you will also know that you are compatible and integrated with your divine femininity. Hold on one second. Like I said, you guys, and I'm not going to keep repeating myself, but harassment and bullying is not allowed here, and neither is judgment. Okay? I accuse and report you to the Most High God. Do not harass me. Okay. So anyways, and then the High Priestess Tarot card spell. And again, these are spells that are designed with you and God and the Holy Spirit. There is not any way to use these on anybody else. Okay. So it's for personal enlightenment, which I think is appropriate for the High Priestess. I invite my higher self, High Priestess self, forward into my consciousness and awareness now. So you can use this book by going through, like, you can go from like you can go from the Fool all the way to the last tarot card, right? In the deck, the last of the major arcana cards. You could do it in order, or you can do it by situation. Let's say that you want to know information about your love life. You could go to the Lover's Tarot card spread and start there. Let's say you want to know what you're manifesting, what you're growing. You could go to the Sun Tarot card spread and start there. Let's say you want to know more about your gifts and abilities. You could go to the High Priestess Tarot card spread and start there. So there's different ways to use this book. But each of the spells that go along with it are going to help you spiritually progress while you're on your journey. Okay, and yeah, so the Lovers is to draw love into one's life. The Hangman is to sacrifice things that are no longer serving you, things that are not in alignment with you. The Death is to bring about appropriate endings. The Temperance helps you to create holy water with Archangel Michael. And then in the back of the book, I have a compendium of knowledge of what it could mean. The World is to bring more peace into your world, of what it could mean when you have more than one of the major arcana cards coming out next to each other. So I'm going to read a little bit from the High Priestess. The High Priestess Tarot card is a spiritual practitioner card. The High Priestess is a self-initiatory and public initiation process. The High Priestess Tarot card indicates a spiritual seeker. If you pull the High Priestess Tarot card in the reverse, you can rest assured that you are dealing with a dark practitioner of spirituality. If you pull the High Priestess Tarot card in the reverse, then you pull the Devil Tarot card, it indicates that the dark High Priestess serves or worships the demonic. When you pull the High Priestess and then pull the Moon Tarot card, it could indicate that someone is working with the moon to spiritually possess you. If you pull the High Priestess and then you pull the Hierophant Tarot card, it could indicate that a High Priestess has a teacher, coach, or mentor who is a Hierophant. And it just keeps going on and on and on with the different combinations. But you guys get the gist of how this works. Check this book out. I've got the link to it along with the link to the original Rider-Waite tarot deck. Again, if you learn to read the cards from this deck, you can go to any specialty deck, like the Santa Muerte deck, any other deck, and you'll know what the cards mean. And so you won't have to when they give you the abstract picture, because that's what they do with these other decks, they'll give you like an abstract picture and then you'll figure out, like, if you know the original interpretation, then when they give you the abstract picture, you will know what it's talking about. Okay, you guys, I love you so much. Thank you for spending your time with me. Oh, thank you. I'm glad that you guys like the background. Thank you so much. So we're going to get right into the reading. If any of you guys have any personal questions, you can send me a $20 super chat with your question, and I will pause the collective reading, and then I will answer your question, and I'll set a 20-minute timer. Okay. All right. But I get that everything is working out for you beautifully, like beautifully. Everything is always working out for you. I would be using that as like an affirmation when you feel unsteady or unsure of the outcome. Let's get the likes up, you guys, please. And thank you. I would greatly appreciate it. It means the world to me if you guys could like the video. Okay. Give me 1 second. I'm just going to see if I can get this light a little bit closer. Yeah, actually, I can. Okay, so hopefully that helps with lighting. Yeah, that's better. All right, that's so much better. Oh my gosh, I was like, it's too dark. Anyways, okay. So we're going to shuffle and cut the deck, and we'll see what we got. You got the deck? I'm so glad, you guys. I'm so glad. That makes me so happy. I love that. I love that you guys are interested in your spiritual journey, and I love that you are asking questions. I think that people that just follow the grain, they never ask questions, and they're never interested in what's happening for them. I think those people are very boring to me. Okay. So with that being said, everything is always working out for you. So no matter what comes up during the reading, just know that it's not only being worked on, but God and the Holy Spirit are aware of it. It means there's nothing that's done in the dark that does not come to the light. Okay. 3 of Wands. Your personal goals and what you're working towards is coming into view here. I also get that, like, you guys could be starting a new project. You could be writing a new book. You could be creating a new platform. You could be creating, some type of goal or project that's been long in your dreams is about to be realized, and it's going to be invented by you, or it's going to be produced by you, which means that the gifts and abilities that you have are very important for you to share them with others. Why do I say that? Because you have them so that you can use them for yourself, and so that you can help other people that are in the dark. And so literally you're just being told when it comes to starting anything new, if it's a new business idea, to carefully plan. Make sure that you're doing the research necessary to find out what you need to invest in. You can make a bulletin board. You can make different notes on what the major steps are that you need to take, and then the smaller steps. And between that, I feel like you guys should be able to execute whatever this is in a relatively, I would say, short amount of time. You could have somebody completely twisted up in their mind because you can produce things quickly, and you don't second guess yourself. You don't counteract what you do. It feels to me like everything's working out for you because you have done the work. You've done the spiritual work. 4 of Swords. This is the end of a battle with somebody that would not let go of your energy. Sometimes people just have to be straight up booted out. They have to be kicked out because they won't let go. I get that. Also, you could have been dealing with some type of person that, it's really giving me like some type of person that was like into defending evil people. Okay. This person is now feeling really stupid. They could be going to a literal funeral. It could be an end to their business while it's a beginning to yours. I feel like this person is not going to be able to use you, not for anything. 8 of Cups, because they've got to walk away. Walking away dissatisfied and depressed and feeling like you have won something that's unfair. I feel like you working for what you have is completely fair. You're not over here like with your hand out saying, give me, give me, give me. I deserve all of this stuff that I don't want to work for, like this person is. They're like, give me, give me, give me. I'm entitled. I deserve the best, but I don't want to work for the best. It's like, what the hell? I also feel like you guys make very wise financial investments, which means that, you know, you don't have a lot of like, I would say you don't have a lot of like crazy bills that are left unpaid or debts with people to where you're like, oh, I can't pay my car note this month because I have a debt with somebody else that I took out money or I borrowed money and now I'm being told that I have to pay that back. Okay. So like you guys are making better decisions when it comes to finances. That's why your business idea is going to be manifesting very quickly. And this other person, they have to walk away from a job, a position, something that they were doing that was trying to be like you because they're being seen as a fraud and a fake. And they are a fraud and a fake. I mean, this is just like people finding out the truth about them. And you may be dealing with somebody that wants to blame you about that, but I don't feel like you're to blame because this person's a fake. They're a fake bitch, you know? People don't want to be around this person because they know that they can't trust them. They can't trust them with money. They can't, like, if you can't trust somebody around you, don't be around that person. Knight of Swords. There is a whole group of very aggressive ass people that know that they cannot trust this other person that you're dealing with. And this is possibly why they're coming after them, making them walk away from attacking you. I feel like people just need to get it together and do right by other people. I mean, it's not like the people that say that they don't like you, they don't have to involve themselves in your business. They don't have to be all up in your energy and they don't have to be all up in your face. That's only because they want to play fucking games with you that they feel like they can just be all up in your face, playing games and thinking it's funny. But this person would not be laughing. It would not be funny to them if they were to have everything stripped from them. And that's what's about to happen to them. And they wanted that for you. They wanted you to have to every single like month, like every single transition, this person wanted you starting over. Which, how fair is that? Why should you have to keep starting over in your life when you work really hard? You work way too hard to have to start over. I would say no. I'm not starting over. If I start something new, that's me starting something new. But I'm not starting over and giving up my progress because somebody else is uncomfortable with that. They're going to have to get used to either being uncomfortable or they're just going to have to get out of the way. Three of Pentacles, because you have a whole community, a soul tribe, a group of people that need your insight, that need your product, your contribution. They need your assistance. And, you know, this is why you are divinely protected. This is why these people that need your guidance will always find you. There is nothing that anybody else can do about that. Like, you have done all of the work to be able to be in a position to receive a blessing. And you already are blessed, but I do get that more is on its way. And that's why everything is always working out for me is a very, very good affirmation, especially when you know you've got somebody that's trying to work against that and trying to keep you from having things work out for you. I would be like, no, everything always works out for me no matter what the situation, no matter what. And this person could be sick in the head. There could be something very wrong with them. Again, whose fault is that though? Like, you're not over here thinking this person's thoughts. You're not being like, oh, telling them to either go to the doctor or not go to the doctor. This person is extremely irresponsible with themselves. Two of Pentacles. You guys could be getting a download. You could be getting a message from the higher realms that it's time to move forward and time to move on from these people. You could be getting a message from the courts that freeing you from a situation that these people thought they were going to have you all bound up and caught up in. Yeah, I highly doubt it. I also get that you could have been dealing with somebody who is an ex-military person who was thinking that they were just going to, you know, take shots at you. Like, for what reason? This could be making jokes about you. Again, I don't think that they're funny, and I don't think that making fun of people is cool. I really don't. I think it's kind of a cowardice move. And the only body that should be making fun of people should be like the divine clowns, the divine gestures that, you know, that help with humor. You know what I mean? The Hermit. You guys have already gone within and found your own inner light. This is why you found your way out of the dark night of the soul. This person's pissed off because they can't keep you in the dark night of the soul. They need to understand one thing about you, that you will always find the light, and you will always shine that light on whatever the darkness is. And you always move forward. You go within. That's why you find, this is why you get answers, you get messages, you're always going within. This other person would never think to go within because they're afraid of what's inside of them. And, you know, if they would do the shadow work, they would be fine. But this person will never, they will never take accountability for what they've created in their own life. Page of Swords, because they're over here too busy spying, stalking, and watching you. This could be through the internet. It could be through another person. Either way, these people are not seeing anything about you that is going to be of any worth to them. They're not going to be able to do anything about your forward movement. So they might as well just not watch you if it makes them so unhappy. If seeing you survive and strive and move forward makes them this unhappy, why don't they just go turn on, you know, the news or watch something else? But these people intentionally come to you to tune in and tap into your energy. And I feel like that is very vampiric. Like there should be no reason that anybody's even attempting to do that. And I can guarantee that you don't go around like being like, how can I pry myself? How can I like literally pry myself into somebody else's protection? You don't go around thinking shit like that. And this is why you're blessed. Too blessed to be stressed. Queen of Swords. Because you guys cut these people off. You're like, I don't want any more to do with whatever this is. You know, you're just like, whatever this game is that y'all are playing, I don't want to play this fucking game. This game called, because this person was playing with your life. They were playing with your sanity and playing with your blessings. And they just thought it was funny. Like, oh, you'll never do anything. The collective will never stand up for themselves. And then here you are standing up for yourself, cutting these people off. And now they're like, oh, I can't believe they cut me off. I can't believe they removed me. I can't believe they blocked me. What do you mean you can't believe that? What the fuck did you think was going to happen if you continue to harass and stalk somebody and abuse them? What do you think they're going to do? Do you think they're just going to sit around forever being complacent with being a punching bag for somebody else? Being the brunt end of somebody else's disgusting jokes? I mean, this person could be extremely perverted. I'm wondering why they don't go find more people like them that are disgusting and perverted and then stay in their own lane. Knight of Cups. This person knows that they're not getting their wishes granted. They know that they're not getting these desires granted. Let's get the likes up, you guys, please and thank you. This person knows that. They also know that by you cutting them off, you are getting your wishes fulfilled just by you not talking to these people or not including them. And again, if these people, they don't have free thoughts. These people follow some type of book, some type of Bible, some type of Quran, Torah, whatever it is. They follow a book that clearly, the weird shit about these people is that the book that they follow judges them. These people are the ones that are up under judgment from the own books that they read, from their own, whatever their religious shit is, whatever the shit they're into. If it's Wiccanism, I don't care what it is. These people are literally the unfavored ones in every book that's ever been created. So anyways, unfavored, literally. And they're over here trying to judge you. They better be very careful with that because it's going to end up getting them very judged. I also feel like you getting your wishes fulfilled is what's just. That's what's fair. That's what's just. That's what should be happening. You shouldn't be hanging around anybody that's in the energy of the devil. Anybody that wants to bind themselves to Satan or whatever, wants to, you know, work with the darkness. You don't need to be around people like that. It's not for your highest and best good to be around people that don't mean you any good. People that only wish to hurt and harm you. Yeah, this is why you cut this person off. You knew that everyone that they're around is no bueno. They all think the same thoughts. They all do the same judgments. And these people, They believe that God loves them over everybody else, and that's not true. God loves everybody. God does not favor this person over you, and God's not going to even help these people. God's not going to intervene or stop this devil energy. God's not doing anything for these people. And they can use whatever book they want to use, but it's not going to, them reading out of a book, thinking that that's the word of God and that's the law, that is not going to get them favored by the divine realm. Okay, they need to do things that are in alignment with actual God, like unconditional love, joy, and peace. They need to be peaceful. They need to be non-sarcastic. They need to be kind. They need to be compassionate. That's what's in alignment with God. These people do not know God. They don't know what a higher self is. They don't know what their soul is. They're not in touch with anything other than the physicality of this reality. These people don't know anything about the divine realm. They know nothing, obviously. I mean, it's very clear. If they're trying to use a book written by a dead person, that's considered necromancy. And again, I'm not judging anybody, but I'm just saying people that like to pick up their Quran, Torah, or Bible and then use it as a spell book to curse and harm others, those people are not shit to me. They're just as bad as witches and warlocks and devil worshiping weirdos, okay? In my opinion. Anybody that's going to abuse some type of supposed sacred script, again, these people are not alive for us to ask them what's in that. And not only that, the Bible was not written by Jesus Christ, and it was not written about God's law. It was written about humans, written by humans, about humans, for humans, to manipulate and control humans. Does that mean that it's not worth shit? No. I think the book of Psalms, why it's so great is because it's about people that had their own relationship with God, which is what everybody should have. Jesus didn't have a Jesus to go to. Jesus went to God. That's why I feel like you knowing that your higher self is God, that your soul is God, and tapping into your own divinity is the most powerful thing. And if these people got a problem with that, let them go complain to the devil. The devil can't do anything to you. Queen of Wands. This person is like, oh, I'm so much better. I'm such the better choice. But are they? Are they the better choice? This person works with the devil. What makes them think that they're the better choice? First of all, you're not even trying to compete like that. Look, this Six of Wands in the reverse just flew out all sideways. It says a sneak attack throws their life off balance. This person has no idea the amount of people that they have fucked over that are going to be coming for their throat. They just don't understand how many spirit guides they've pissed off, how many ancestors they've offended, and how many demons they've unleashed upon their own life. Okay? These people follow a false prophet. They do. Whatever they're worshiping is aligned with an antichrist devil energy. And I'm not really into the book of Revelations like that, but I do pick up on that energy right here. That these people follow a political leader or some stupid shit. Like literally. Yeah. Others want this person to fail, including the devil that they worship, which is crazy to me. Why would I don't understand why anybody would devote their soul and their life to the devil when they know that the devil does not even like them or fuck with them like that. It says others take credit for their work. This person was over here trying to take credit for all of the work that you've done. And now other people are taking credit for what they've done, because what you do to others will be done to you. And this person just doesn't understand the law of attraction. An important project fails and their dream is at risk. If this person's dream was to become you, yes, it's at risk. Pride blinds them to the accomplishments of others. This person should have been very grateful for the contribution that you made to their life and not treated you like you were garbage, because you're not. It says thank and reward important people. This person doesn't have the ability to be grateful for anything that they have in their life. And they're always on this dumb shit, like trying to take projects from other people. This is why you just need to keep your cards close to your chest and not reveal what you're doing to others. What other people don't know about, they can't go into the Bible, the Quran, or the Torah and try to read scriptures on you about. What other people don't know about, they cannot ruin. And that's why I feel like you keeping people out of your energy and out of your business is the most important thing. You already respect yourself, and you respect the wishes of God. This is why I respect you guys, because you guys respect the higher, divine, bigger picture, which there always is a bigger picture to everything in life. Some people think that all there is the physical world, but I disagree. There is so much more beyond that. And these people just don't have the eyes to see, or the ears to hear, or the heart to know, you know, what exists beyond the third dimension. I also get that this Queen of Wands was trying to send sneak attacks at you, like trying to literally pick up rocks, throw rocks at you, hide their hand, and then cry wolf and tell everybody that you're to blame. You've got to be joking. This person was literally trying to ruin your projects and ruin your reputation, and all they did was destroy theirs. And they think that because they're so attractive, this person believes that because they're so attractive that they deserve the best things in life. I'm sorry, but they're ugly on the inside. This person has no integrity, not any at all. And they're seeing you get your wishes fulfilled, and they're like, well, how is that possible? I did this, this, and this to destroy this person. Well, yeah, you maybe did try to throw a sneak attack, but the whole thing of God being, you know, you have given your life to God. I've given my life to God. I've given my life to my higher power. I'm allowing my higher self to take the wheel and to steer my life in the right direction. And I know that it will bring me, God will bring me to people that don't like me and to people that do like me. And for the people that don't like me, that's okay. I'm not everybody's cup of tea. That's absolutely fine. But they will learn to understand that God lives through me. And they will learn to understand that God exists through you, through me, and through their experiences with us. And that right there in itself makes it important for people that don't like you to become aware of you. So you have to understand that God is using you for a bigger picture so that you can reach people and reach their hearts, and not just, I don't think that you guys are people that are just like, go straight to the Bible and do this. Like, things need to be taken in the right context. Okay. The Bible was written in a time very long ago where things were a little bit different. But the good thing about the Bible and these books that were written, again, I think the book of Enoch should have been included, because where they selected time, they wanted to make time, you know, the only thing that's important to us is the birth of Jesus. So you have BC, and then you have AD, right? The before Christ and after the death of Christ. But all of the other time where humans still existed, the book of Enoch maps that. And Enoch's life. See, why they don't want you to know about Enoch is because Enoch was delivered from death. Enoch walked right into heaven with God. And then also Enoch was carried on the backs of angels through the divine realms, being shown everything that existed in the higher dimensions. They don't want you to know that you can ascend without death. These people do not want you to know that if you make yourself important to God and you do the right thing, you will be delivered in any time of trouble. They don't want you to know that if you raise your vibration, you could disappear into a higher dimension. They don't want you to know about ascension. They want you to believe that the only way that you'll receive damnation or salvation or damnation is through their protocols. And it just doesn't work like that. You know, Moses was a prophet. Moses was a psychic. Moses had abilities. Moses communicated with God. Same thing with Enoch. Same thing with Noah. Same thing with Jesus. All of those stories are stories about people who are very close to God. Even Jacob had his own experiences. Do I agree with wrestling with God and trying to force God to give you blessings and shit like that? No. But I do understand the concept of destiny swap. So I understand why these stories were told to us, because they map certain human experiences, just like the tarot maps the past, present, and future. They map human experiences. And if you're somebody that's interested in cards, do not think that you're going to go to hell for that. Tarot cards did not exist when the Bible was written. Okay? They didn't exist. Reading tarot cards didn't exist. I don't know what the hell they did back then, to be quite honest. To tell the future, they were probably just possessed or something. Or like the Oracle of Delphi was huffing those, you know, fumes coming up from the earth that were probably putting her in an altered state. However, you know, whatever it is, you know, the thing is, it's like It's just like how conspiracies are only a conspiracy until they're proven to be true. Like people look at you and go like, "Oh, that's a false prophet, that's a fake person, that's somebody that's not of Jesus, they're not a good person, they blah blah blah." While these people are over here consorting with the devil on their free time, you're actually doing what's right and what's just and what's true. And this is why you're being delivered. Let's get the likes up, you guys, please, and thank you. Yes, like this person, you know, they don't understand that the reason that you're still standing has nothing to do with the devil. It has to do with God. They don't understand that. Okay. They don't understand that the reason that you have success is because you are divinely protected and loved and you have a bigger mission here. Does everybody have a bigger mission? I think that they could. I think everybody's purpose is slightly different. I think that they could, but do they choose to do anything that aligns with that? It's one thing to be given a divine life purpose. It's another thing to step into it. And these people that are, and I'm not trying to diss religions, but these people that are calling themselves saints that go selling their bullshit book, and it is bullshit because it's complete bullshit, book door to door, and they think that's what they're doing to serve Christ. What the fuck? No, that's serving a man-made program that wants 10% of your fucking income. That's not serving Jesus. That's serving, literally a program, an agenda, a demonic fucking agenda. And so people think that, oh, I went on a mission. Oh, I did this. My divine life purpose, I'm done now. And then they completely miss the point. And this is why these people don't ever get into their destinies, because they never actually move towards what God has for them. What God intended them to come here and do. They never end up doing it. Most of these people, they just don't. Because they believe in what they've been told to believe. They don't have free thoughts. This is why I respect you guys so much. You have free thoughts. You can think outside of the box. You're not going to follow a pre-made human program that manipulates people. I just don't respect anybody that's going to say that they're better than everybody the fuck else because of whatever book they read. Okay? There's lots of books that exist in this world. There is a lot, okay? But it's more about actions, thoughts, words, deeds that either are in alignment with higher self God or they're not. That's what gets you in alignment, doing things that are in alignment with your higher self. It's not reading a book and reciting a bunch of passages that these people, it's only head knowledge to them. They may think they understand it, but they have no idea. They're not looking at it through the lens of the bigger picture. They're not able to look at what Jesus said and understand it in the context that it was actually spoken. And I feel like that is doing everybody a disservice because it's just promoting a bunch of bullshit, a bunch of other beliefs that are human, man-made thoughts and beliefs, and that's what they want to promote. I personally don't think that, for the human race, I don't think marrying our cousins is appropriate. There's a lot of things that these religious doctrines say is okay and appropriate that I completely disagree with. And that's okay. It's just my own personal opinion. And because we do have science and genetics, I can look at things through the lens of being like, oh, well, like common sense would say, like, if you continue to marry your cousins, there's 1 out of 4 chances every time you do that you're not going to be able to reproduce children that can see, walk, speak, or think. Point blank, period. And that's really, really sad for a lot of different places in the world that keep, they don't have free thought and they're told not to ask questions because they don't want to hear the answer. What is so wrong with asking questions? I, for one, am a rebel. If somebody tells me that this is right and this is wrong, if I don't see it that way, I'm going to ask why they're saying that. You know what I mean? And people they probably want to beat the shit out of me for that or kill me. But oh well, I have the free will to be able to ask questions, and I can ask God instead of having to ask a human man-made system that's broken. And if these systems were not broken, then they would be, people would be ascending through them, that people would be gaining enlightenment, but people are not. So as much as this person wants to use this book against you, again, at the end of the day, what is that book? It's literally a bunch of pages of a tree. It's a piece of a tree with some ink on it. when it becomes a holy sacred book is when it's used in the right context. These people don't know how to take things in the right context. That's their biggest problem. They also believe it's okay to sneak attack others, stone people to death, throw rocks, hide their hand, and then cry wolf about everyone, when they're the ones over here summoning the devil and trying to get their wishes granted by Satan or whatever other stupid low vibrational energy. King of Cups. These people truly do believe that they're the ones that have the wisdom. This is why I feel like anybody that thinks they know all of the answers obviously does not know all of the answers. I am a person, I do not know all of the answers. I can just tell you what I pick up on, and what I think and what I feel. Does it make it wrong or right? That's neither here nor there. That's between me and God. I feel like a lot of this stuff is between you and your higher self. And what you're doing is in alignment with you getting your wishes granted, because you're doing things that not only serve yourself, but serve others. This King of Cups, they do have the ability to see that what you're trying to do is help and not hurt. They know that. They know that very well. They also know that this Queen of Wands does witchcraft. They also know that this Queen of Wands pretends to, serve whatever book they serve while doing witchcraft on the side. And this Queen of Wands could be saying that pulling cards is witchcraft. I disagree with that. Not in the Bible, not in the Quran, not in the Torah. You will not find tarot cards because they did not exist. So I don't think at all that's what this is about. I feel like what it's talking about when it says not to do witchcraft is when people abuse their spiritual power and they try to fuck with people's free will, dominate them, or take them away from God. And I think that that's dead ass wrong, because you're over here on a clear path, moving forward, doing everything that God has expected and asked you to do. And it's not that God's saying words to you, because I don't think that God speaks like that. But I do feel like you have followed the signs. You've listened to the messages. Like when you see things happen in nature, you ask questions, you investigate, you think, you meditate, you do all of the things that are in alignment with love, joy, and peace, and creating compassion. And these other people, they want to condemn, and demonize. They want to demonize everything. And I'm sorry, but this world is filled with the majority of gray, not white, not black, but gray. And white would be like light magic or good. Black would be like evil, black magic, bad. Not everything is like that. Love magic is a sadistic, abusive form of witchcraft that does not fall into white or black. It just depends on how you use it. If you're going to use it on somebody else and take away their free will and force somebody to love you that doesn't naturally love you, then what do these people think that they're going to get from that? I mean, seriously. I also feel like, in the future, there's going to be, I think it's happening now, but there's going to be a mass awakening where people are going to come to the realization that all of these thoughts and beliefs that were written down and recorded, those were only the thoughts and beliefs of a certain group of people that sustained time. Like it wasn't destroyed, like how Julius Caesar went to the Library of Alexandria, and then burnt the whole shit down, took all of the scrolls to make up the calendar, and then made the calendar. Like these people are not taking into consideration that there have been hundreds and thousands, if not millions, of other people that have had free thoughts, that did not know how to write, didn't know how to read, didn't have a religion, and didn't follow any type of other guide other than reading nature, listening to dreams, listening to the signs, and doing what they felt called to do. And so that's why I feel like the ancient time of Atlantis, the knowledge of that, they call it New Age, but it's really not New Age. It's ancient knowledge that's being remembered now, and it's being put to use. And you guys are part of that missing piece. Okay, all of that time where the Nephilim, the giants, and the humans were living, coexisting with giants, which we have giant skulls. We actually have the bones of these creatures. This is not like so woo-woo. It's really not. It's scientific. And this is why the book of Enoch can be scientifically proven. And where there's a lot of other stories in the Bible that we just don't have scientific evidence to prove that that's actually what went down. The Catholic Church, they decided to create a certain type of canon that only included the books that they wanted, and they painted a picture about Jesus that was not accurate to how Jesus was. But you have to understand, the people that created the Catholic Church were the same type of people that crucified Jesus. Then they wanted to use the martyr of Jesus to create a church that goes in alignment with martyrdom. And that's why you see history falling in the way that it does. It's his story. You know what I mean? And who is he? Whatever person that decided to preserve whatever books. That's who he is. Okay? Two of Swords. Yeah, these people are blocked. They're blocked because they don't have higher wisdom. They don't have higher knowledge. They're blocked because they don't know between what's right and what's wrong. I also get that, like, you guys are learning so much at such a rapid pace that these people can't keep up with you. That's why they feel the need to throw sneak attacks. But their sneak attack is them misusing some type of text that was written by a person that's no longer here, that cannot explain the context that they wrote it in and what it was meant to be used for. And so this is why I feel like their shit is not working, because they're literally trying to abuse some type of Bible passage, Psalm 109, trying to, and I think that Psalm 109 out of all of the Psalms is the only one that I don't like. Actually, there's another one that talks about bashing the heads and skulls of children into the rocks. I disagree with that one as well. But there are a couple Psalms that are extremely violent, cruel, sadistic, and evil. And Psalm 109, and then the one about bashing the babies' skulls into the rocks, both of those are inappropriate to me. I don't think that those two Psalms are going to help anybody, but that's the only Psalms that this person uses. You would think that they would be like, oh, let me go protect myself before I attack an innocent person. But they don't think that. And, you know, this person maybe doesn't consider you to be innocent, but God does. The angelic realm does. You are considered to be innocent because you have not done anything to provoke this type of sneak attack, throw a Bible verse at somebody, slap them upside the head, like type of shit. Okay. You have not done anything to deserve this. And this is why when I say that there are going to be people that like you and people that don't like you, the ones that don't, why they come into your reality is so that they can get a taste of what actual God's energy would be like, so that they can start to have an awakening. That's the only reason that they come in. Five of Wands. They may want to compete with you, but what is there to compete for? What is there to fight over? When there's enough resource, like this planet does not suffer from a lack of resources. It never has. It suffers from a lack of love. And it suffers from a lot of judgment and a lot of people misusing and abusing spiritual texts and spiritual tools, okay? Misusing and abusing them. Now, it's one thing, and a spiritual tool is just a spiritual tool. Like, you guys have been able to see the future and know what's happening and read a room since you were a child, okay? This is not like all of a sudden you got turned on to this spiritual stuff and now you're having experience. You guys are seasoned people who have, like, would have been oracles back in the day. You know, you have the experience that's needed to understand the messages that God sends to you. These people, they do receive signs, they do receive messages, but they don't understand what's being communicated to them. That's where their biggest problem is. This is why these people will never influence anybody to do anything that's worth value. Eight of Wands. And they're stuck at the crossroads with the devil, which, what the fuck did they think was going to happen? Where does the devil hang out? On Supernatural, what do you do at the crossroads? You meet with the devil and you sell your soul. Some type of shit like that. Like, and I hate to reference Supernatural, but it does have a lot of good examples of things. And I feel like this person's like, let me just go to the crossroads again. Let me just go redo this ritual to Hecate. Let me just go make this sacrifice. Let me just go buy a chicken and sacrifice that. Like, I don't care how many goats, chickens, cows, whatever they sacrifice. I don't care. It's not being accepted. The devil doesn't need shit like that. The devil doesn't want stuff like that. The devil does not even want people to be contacting it. Okay, I can guarantee that. People think that there's this huge agenda that the devil just wants to take over everything. I don't see it like that. All I see is that the devil is a low vibrational energy that influences it. All it wants to do is be low vibrational. So if you want to look at that as like a higher evil intent for everyone, then you can, I guess, but I don't look at it like that. I look at like the devil just wants to do what the devil wants to do, which is low vibrational bullshit. Point blank period, without any type of consequence. And these ancient ass spirits that, again, clearly in the book of Enoch describes and lists them and speaks about them, these ancient spirits, they do have knowledge, but it doesn't top the knowledge that you have about yourself. These ancient spirits did bring, you know, a certain type of knowledge that's not healthy for humans to have, like certain ones. Like these spirits, they want bodies to live in because they don't possess a physical vessel. They want to have sex, they want to eat, they want to drink, they want to smoke, they want to do whatever they want to do, and they don't have a body to do it in. And that's why they use people. But is that a part of a higher agenda to work against God? Most likely not. I don't think it is. Because I think even the demons are not stupid enough to go against God's will. And that's why I feel like the knowledge that was brought from the fallen angels to the earth, whether it's about makeup, whether it's about how to deliver a death blow to somebody to take them off the face of the earth, that knowledge was allowed to be manifested and created in this world for a reason, to teach us lessons, literally, to teach us lessons. Doesn't make it right or wrong. Well, it just makes it knowledge. Again, it's what you do with the knowledge that makes it good or bad, not the knowledge in itself. That doesn't mean it's inherently good or inherently bad. I also get that these people, they're throwing rocks, hiding their hand and crying wolf, and they're being seen by the angels that only have eyeballs. They don't even have anything other than eyeballs. They're being seen. These people have been seen. They've been seen for a moment now, like for a while. They've been seen. It's not like whatever they're doing is not being noticed. They're being seen. Okay, so every time they try to throw a rock at you and hide their hand and cry wolf and say that you did something to them, the angelic realm is like, oh my God, here we go again with this person. Like they're not going to get it. Like they're not understanding the message that like, we're not backing this bullshit. This is what these people don't understand. Knight of Pentacles, because they worked so hard collaborating with other people to bring you guys problems. And now that the devil was never going to bring you an issue because it knows that it can't. There are some people, like I will tell you guys, some of you guys are so protected to the point where the devil can only fuck with people that are around you that are low vibrational and not in alignment with your highest and best good. And the devil works on these people and turns them against you so that you realize that these people are not for your highest and best good. And you guys have figured that out about a Queen of Wands that wants to say that they're better than you because maybe they're younger, maybe they think they look better, whatever this is. Maybe they think that their book of knowledge makes them better. No, I don't agree with these books that degrade women. I don't agree with abusing any type of person, whether it's an adult, a child, a female, a male. I disagree with that. I don't think that that's what God wants. The Fool. But these people, they foolishly get so close to the edge there, about to walk off the cliff, because they do think that God wants, you know, people beating on each other. I disagree with that. That's completely inaccurate. God wants peace. God wants everybody to awaken to the divine realm and to come home to God, not to Jesus, to God. You know, the way that Jesus and Noah and Moses and Enoch lived their life with God, you know, with having God in their lives as active role and guardian and higher self. So you just have to, you know, you don't have to forgive these people, but it would benefit you to, because it's not going to help you to hold on to a grudge against somebody that is going to keep banging their head up against a wall and not ever get it together. Okay. You're dealing with people that continually make the same mistakes, and then eventually they just do it to the wrong person. They just do it to the wrong person. and there's a consequence all of a sudden. And these people are like, that person did something to me. No, it is called a consequence. It's called butterfly effect. Like, these people didn't understand the grace and mercy over their life when they did the first 100,000 fucking spells or first 1,000 spells. This person will sit around doing the same type of spell work on everybody that they come across because they feel like if they don't have control of other people, then they're powerless. Well, I guess they're just powerless people then. I don't feel like because I don't have control of others that I'm powerless. I feel like I don't even care to control other people. What the fuck? Like, that's too much. That's too much of me investing my time into other people that I don't want to do. Knight of Cups. And while you're over here sitting pretty, doing you, being you, shining, okay, these people, The Shining, the book, The Shining, okay, the movie, The Shining. If you don't know about Stephen King's universe, I love his work, okay? The Shining, if you've seen The Shining, the movie, I'm just going to explain what this is. The Shining is a spiritual ability. It's the ability to see spirits. It's the ability to see the future. It's the ability to tap into a higher self, a higher power. Now, there is a movie called Dr. Sleep that came after The Shining, and it's the story of the little boy that's in The Shining who has the gift called The Shining. When he grows up, he comes across this group of vampires that basically, they're called the True Knot, and they come across children and they torture children and extract this steam out of them while unaliving them because they're stealing their shine. They're stealing their shining, their abilities, right? And that's what keeps them living on longer and longer and longer. So Dr. Sleep is like the follow-up story to The Shining. But if you look at all of the monsters in Stephen King universe, if you look at it, it comes after the children that have the shining. You guys have the shining. These monsters that come and they attack children, because that's the majority of what Stephen King's novels are about, is like different stories. Like The Black Phone is about this guy that abducts children, puts them in the basement. It's like soundproof basement, and then like leaves the door unlocked and lets the children, when the children go to try to escape, this is like legit a movie you guys can look up. It's called The Black Phone, and there's even a Black Phone 2 coming out. But when the children go to try to escape, this psychopath in his mind thinks like, okay, well, now that child's been naughty, so I can punish them. And he allows them to only get so far. And then he puts on this evil mask and he goes and he unalives the children. But in the story of The Black Phone, the children that are in the basement, there is a black phone, like one of those phones that are really old school that connect to the wall still, that have like the plug and everything. And that black phone rings and the child goes and answers it. And it's the spirits of all of the dead children that died before by this psychomaniac person. And it tells this kid how to escape. Okay. It's really interesting. Stephen King's realm, really interesting. You guys have the shining. You have the shine. The reason that Jack Nicholson in The Shining, the hotel, when he's sitting at the hotel bar and he's like, damn, I would give my soul just to have a drink right now. Then all of a sudden appears this person that works for the hotel that's like, here, have this drink. It's on the house. And then right then and there, that's when the exchange happens. And that's when Jack Nicholson starts to become evil. And the more that he consumes the spirits, the alcohol, the more that he comes after the little child. And so anyways, it's all connected. Basically, everything in the Stephen King universe is connected, but it's all about this shine, this extra supernatural ability, right? That people have to see through things, to talk to spirits. And you know that obviously the little boy in the black phone that answers the phone and talks to the spirits of the other dead children that then help this boy escape, you know that he's got the shining. And so it's funny to me how like all of the monsters in his stories always target, even the Dark Tower, the Dark Tower, which is another one of his books. And there's a movie that goes along with it. But it's basically like kind of like a Tower of Babel being created off of children that have been abducted, that have the shining, that are plugged into this machine to keep this tower going, to keep the dark universe thriving. And so Yeah. Like I genuinely do believe that Stephen King was onto something when he was writing about all of these monsters and people using and abusing children that have a special light about them, which is it's just basically talking about like, that person with all those files and that island and all of that stuff. Stephen King he knew the way that the universe operated off of the innocence of others. And he was writing in all of his stories, he was revealing the truth to us. It's just, you have to have the eyes to see and the ears to hear and the heart to know what he was talking about, that all of these evil people thrive off of the innocent of others. So anyways, also, I watched this other movie recently that was really good. It's called Ready or Not. And it's based upon, like, I won't give all of it away because it is such a good movie, but they're coming out with a Ready or Not 2. When anybody marries into the family, they because the family's ancestors made a pact with the devil. Anybody that marries into the family at midnight on the day of their marriage, they have to pull a card out of this little like puzzle box thing. And whatever the card game says on it, because they made their money through their fortune through gaming, they have to play that game. But if a card comes back and it says hide and seek, then the person who's getting married into the family has to find somewhere to hide. And if the family does not unalive that person and sacrifice them by dawn, then the family becomes destroyed. You guys will have to see the movie. It's so freaking good. But yeah, it's like the elites and all of these movies are just trying to tell us all the same thing, that, it's off of the innocence of other people that they thrive and strive. And so I feel like, they are important lessons. I don't know if Stephen King was intentionally, knowingly giving us these like Easter eggs, or if this is something that just all came together. I don't know how he constructed it, but I do feel like he was tapping into something that was very real. Because I do know that the demon It is very real. But as far as the other things, he's just, and the mist, all of that, justice. See, you guys are getting justice. This is what you're here to do, is to balance things in your favor. Your wish fulfillment includes receiving justice. Literally, it includes that. And it's like, I feel like a lot of you guys understand that you getting justice for yourself means that other people that are like you, that have the shine, that have the ability, that have the power, they can also receive justice as well. King of Swords. And the King of Swords is somebody that comes down and harshly judges others. These people feel like you're not being judged for some reason, and you should be. I feel like had you given in to the advances of this Knight of Cups, you would have experienced, I don't think you would have been up under judgment, but you would have experienced negative side effects of this person. Had you engaged with the Knight of Pentacles, you would have experienced negative side effects. You chose yourself. You chose to do what was the best for you. That's what God wants for you. God doesn't want people to suffer. God does not want to see people struggle either. And God definitely does not want us fighting each other, unaliving each other, and competing with each other. For what? Like, seriously. High Priestess. For the shine. The High Priestess card is the shining. It is the shine. For that special energy that you possess that creates the elixir of immortality. Yes, of course people want that. The people that don't have it want it because they want to live forever. And I don't care how much glamour magic this Queen of Wands does. She's she's an ugly person on the inside. Eventually that's going to be exposed. The physical flesh will fade with time, but what's on the inside will always stay. And that's, if we're a good person, that will shine through. If we're not a good person, that will also shine through. You have the ability to see, into people's skins beyond what their skin is showing you. And you can see that some people are just not in alignment with love. They're not in alignment with receiving peace. Ace of Swords. And this is one reason why you are so protected, because you're going to be here teaching other people and inspiring them how to be protected and connected to God in a real way, in an actual way, not just through reading a book and having an imaginary made up connection, okay, which is what these people are experiencing. That what they were connected to by reading whatever they were reading was not connecting them to God. It was connecting them to something that was low vibrational. And I do feel like there are higher dimensional beings that want to be God, like the demiurge and stuff like that, but they are not. You know what I mean? They're not. They can't, like, I would love to see one of those higher dimensional fuckwads create a miracle. I would love to see them do something that real God is doing. So you guys are divinely protected. This is what you need to know. Moving forward, that there's nobody that's going to be able to stop you. If they've got a problem with you, they need to literally go talk to their therapist about it. I'm serious, because if these people go complain to God, nothing is going to happen to you. If they go take your information to a demonologist or whatever, and I'm not judging anybody that studies demons, but if they go take your energy to somebody that's low vibrational, witch or warlock, or somebody that does abuse their power, that person is going to tell this other person, you know what? I'm sorry, but there's nothing that I can do for you about this person. This person is divinely, highly protected and respected by God, and they serve a bigger purpose, bigger than what mine is. And I can't overstep a boundary that's been created here. And not only that, this person is going to see through whatever is done, and I don't need my work being returned back to me. I don't need it being reversed back onto me. This is what these witches and warlocks literally are afraid of. They don't want you to know about magic, because once you know about it, then you'll check for it. And if you check for it, you will not, allow it to be sent to you. Look at who just flew out here. Archangel Michael, Temperance. So your protection, like I said, comes from God and Archangel Michael. This is what these people are going to be told. So when they want to complain and bitch and moan about you having success and they think that you didn't work to get it, you're being already defended by God and Archangel Michael, which means that there's not a whole lot you have to do to be blessed. I'm serious. You were born this way. You were born blessed. You were born with the shine. It runs in your family. The little boy in The Shining's mother also had the shining. If you read the book, you'll learn a little bit more about it, but also had the shining when she was a child. She just didn't know what to call it. And sometimes, it could be your great, 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 great auntie that had it. But the fact that you have it goes to show that God trusts you and that you're not going to do anything. In Dr. Sleep, it's really interesting because the guy that is the little boy that's in The Shining that grows up, he gets taught a technique by one of the people in the hotel. Every time he comes across a negative entity or an evil spirit or a ghost, he puts it in a box in his mind. And then, in the new season of It, there's this other character called Halloran, and he's like this African-American soldier, and for the military, obviously, and he's working to track down It because the military wants to use It as a weapon. But when he has his first interaction with It, or maybe it's like his second, It goes into his mind, takes that box where he put all of those spirits and opens it. And then Halloran goes like freaking legit crazy, like is seeing the spirits everywhere. And it's like, obviously boxing them up is probably not a healthy thing to do. But when you have an ability and you don't know how to use it and you don't know what to do with it, you have to come up with creative ways. And I just think it's interesting, the box theory, because in Dr. Sleep at the very end, when the guy that's in The Shining that grows up, right, that ends up becoming Dr. Sleep, he's saving another child from these true not vampires. And so what he ends up doing is opening all of those boxes on those vampires, and then all the evil spirits go after the vampires and he frees himself. Like, totally liberating, right? I feel like the more that you guys tap into this beautiful energy that you possess, the more experiences you're going to have with it. And then the more you're going to grow in the knowingness that you have a higher power, you are a part of something bigger, and that what you see, it's not for no reason. What you're picking up on is not just a coincidence. It's literally to give you more feedback and knowledge so you can grow as a spiritual being, so that you can step into the destiny that God has for you and live the life that God wants you to live, being happy, free, and unencumbered by anybody that wants to come up and throw rocks and hide their hand and cry wolf. But yeah, I think all of those movies are on Netflix. I think all of them are. Oh, well, maybe the new season of It is not, but Doctor Sleep and The Dark Tower and The Mist is another one. Yeah, I would just research all of the movies that Stephen King has made, and then go. And then The Black Phone is another one, but they all function off of the concept of The Shining, which is really, really interesting. So it's just giving you more of a background of why you went through the things that you went through and why this situation is happening. Trust me, if you didn't have something to offer that was worthwhile, do you think that all of these people would be wanting you this bad, wanting to come for you? Five of Swords, like to the point where they're creating illegal crimes to come try to snatch you up. They need to understand that whatever they've done has really offended Archangel Michael in the divine realm. These people just really need to understand that they're not getting past your protection, your team of highest light and resonance. They're not getting past this high priestess shine that you have. You will always see a monster, whether it's dressed in fine clothing or not, whether it's got a nice car or not, whether it's got money or not. You're going to see, if a monster is a monster, you're going to see that they're a monster. Okay. And this is the whole thing of being able to see through people's skins. That's like the definition of being clairvoyant, being able to see who people truly are. The world. You're here to reshape the world in a way that nobody could have ever anticipated. These people fear you because they fear the power of God that's within you. They know that what's on the inside of you is so much more powerful. And that's why the true knot come after the people that have the shining when they're children, because they try to get them when they're innocent, when they're children, when they can't defend themselves, because they know damn well, just like trying to come after Dr. Sleep was stupid of them. They know damn well once one of these very, very unique people grows up, they become a powerhouse, a beacon of hope for others, and something that cannot be stopped, not with no simple spell or throwing a rock and hiding hands. It's astonishing to me how this person does not feel guilty for any of the shit that they've tried to do. It's like, that's how I know that they're a monster on the inside. And I feel like also, it doesn't matter if you are a part of a vulnerable community. If you're LGBTQ+, you are still loved, okay? Do not think that God hates you. This is what these people want you to believe because they don't like you. They don't like what you represent, which is free will and God. The tower, the dark tower, how they could only create this tower, keeping out the monsters of the universe off of the innocence of children. I mean, that says a lot in itself. That's why you went through the experiences that you did as a child. That's why you had experiences that were terrifying, but you also had some that were beautiful as well. These people are in the tower actively. They need to relinquish whatever type of control they think that they have, and they need to relinquish whatever this is that they keep trying to take away from you, because it doesn't belong to them and it never will. And these people don't know how to use it. It's just like, it's like having a sacred text like the Bible or the Quran or the Torah, which I don't really think that those are sacred texts. I think there's parts of them that are good. Again, all the parts that got left out were probably very important, like the Book of Enoch. But these people, it's just like them, like even if they got a hold of your power, they wouldn't know how to use it in the right context, so it wouldn't mean anything to them. They wouldn't be able to do anything with it. It's like having the Bible, reading a Bible passage and nothing happening because they're taking it out of context. They're trying to use it in a way that it's not meant to be used. And if it was our job to religiously condemn and crucify other people, then God would be supporting that. But that's not, that's the whole point of why the Bible was created, so that pattern of sacrifice somebody for all of these evil people. Think about that. Everybody that was like, yes, like crucify Jesus, evil people. Sacrifice an innocent person for the evil. That's the old system. That system was broken from the beginning, and these people should have learned from that. They should have literally learned from that. Just like Muhammad being a dumbass. And I'm not trying to disrespect anybody's religion, but Muhammad literally unalived this lady. The reason he was unalived is because he unalived this lady's family And then she cooked him a meal and he ate the shit. And so he died by poisoning. In the exact way that the Quran said that the false prophet would die, by the cutting off of the aorta, which is exactly how he died. Because again, he didn't use discernment. He didn't have a shining to be like, oh, this bitch put poison in the food. Like, obviously, I just unalived her family members, which is inappropriate in itself. Why would anybody ever eat or drink from somebody that they know that they've fucked over like that? Like, you're dealing with people that cannot follow common sense. They don't understand what right is and what wrong is. They only understand what books they've had access to or what they've been told to believe. And I feel like there's a lot of churches that exist, a lot of, I'm going to say just melanated African American churches where these pastors are running around being wealthy as fuck, having Rolexes, driving the best cars, and they're literally stripping the people, the important people, by the way, the good people of society that want to do better. They're stripping people of their resources and saying, oh, you have to pay me, almost as much as a house payment for you to be delivered or whatever. And it's like, no, bitch. Like, if those pastors actually serve the public, they would not be draining the resources of their own communities and people. And that's why my heart goes out for anybody that's been in that system that knows. And, I think that some people have a very good point about like if you want me to bless you, like bless the church with all of these resources, then why don't you have God bless me first so I can bless you? Okay. And if it was in alignment with higher self God, that's exactly what would happen. But these things are not. And that's why they are a drain and a strain on society. And they're not taxable as well. It's like these people don't have to pay taxes on anything. Not only do they strip these poor old ladies of their resources, and then these people are like, I can't pay my bills because I gave all the money to pastor. But if I didn't give the money to pastor, I wouldn't be saved. What? No, sweetie, everybody can have a relationship with God, but it takes going within yourself, not going to a pastor. I mean, if that's what you believe, then that's the situation you'll create, but it's never going to be another person that gives you salvation. It's only going to be your own connection. And you guys understand that. That's why you go within. These other people, they're in the tower continuously because they go on the outside of them for everything. Lovers. You're drawing in somebody that is exactly like you, that will match your energy and will complement you in every type of way. These other people that wanted to date you, suit you, or whatever, like they just want people like you to shut up. They don't want you to be spreading this knowledge, this truth, this peace, this love, this grace, this mercy, this compassion. They don't want you spreading real God around. And that's exactly what you're here to do. And this twin flame that's coming in for you, or that you already have, is 100% in alignment with higher self God. Like, you don't have to worry about them. These people are not, though. They're trying to domesticate you, turn you into like a housewife or some weird shit, or a husband or something weird. Like, they want to domesticate you with the moon, and it's just not going to happen. They need to find something else to do. They can do anything else. Yes, you want a one-on-one relationship. I'm so proud of you guys. That's exactly what you'll have. And you won't have to read something that somebody else has written to have that. As long as you go within, you will be accessing your own connection. And these people, they want you to just surrender over your shine to them. Let them have, they're like, well, if I had access to their power, if I had access to their light, what I would do with it. It can't be used like that. Straight up. It really cannot even be used like that. The star. You're meant to be seen and known and heard by people because your message is important. Your dreams for the future are important. This could also be you falling in love with a celebrity or meeting one or becoming one yourself. I feel like you guys have more common sense, more logic. You guys have more gifts and abilities than the average person, which makes you a supernatural being in itself. And it does make people afraid, but instead of fearing you, they should just respect you and be kind to you, because then you would probably help them with whatever they have going on. Death in the reverse. You have to understand this moon magic is over. This is a huge backfire. It talks about life focuses on instinctual, sexual, and animal and base needs. That's what these people are stuck in the reptilian mind. Physical needs take over. Fear of financial trouble affects their decisions. Okay, so they're afraid financially. Possible loss of a home, job, and financial stability for these people. Dang. Reversal of fortune. Just like what I said, why witches and warlocks don't want you to think magic is real, because then you'll reverse it. You'll just be like, nah, not my energy, not my dog, not my pony, not my fight, not my race. I'm not getting involved. This is talking about, you know, see, these people need to see to their own needs and stop worrying about you. They need to build up a reserve and keep money. They need to hold on to their money because they're about to be separated from it. Reversal of fortune, which means whatever they've done off of the innocence and shine of other children is going to be brought back on them tenfold. It's going to be a complete reversal. And you're over here sharing this cup of love that God gave you with the world. And these people are like, no, you can't be freeing others. You can't be giving people the answers to the matrix. You can't be throwing them a bone. That whatever these people are like, whatever you said didn't come from whatever book they read. And so they feel like you shouldn't be allowed to say that. And you shouldn't be listened to. You know, it's like that mentality of a woman's testimony is half that of a man's. Said who? Some dumbass fucking human that wanted to create inequality. But in true, real relationships, that looks like equality to me right there. So this is why I don't understand about these people. They don't want to let go of your fortune, but it's yours. It doesn't belong to them. Literally, it doesn't belong to them. And when you guys become celebrities, when you become household names and very well-known people and your projects prosper, remember that these people, they never wanted to see that happen. Even though they're going to be able to benefit off of the knowledge that you produce for everyone else, it will also save these people that wanted to condemn you. You know what I mean? That's why I feel like people that can't think for themselves are going to be lost, especially in the age of Aquarius. They're going to be very lost. If they can't think for themselves, if they have to read something that some dead person wrote that cannot even be asked about their own journey, you know, I mean, that's just the way that I feel. It's like people that blindly follow down dangerous pathways without ever checking to see, like, is this in alignment with higher self or not? Those people are the ones that will be tricked. And this is why they're in alignment with the devil, because the devil is a trickster and a liar and a thief and a rapist and a robber and somebody that does not want equality between people. Seven of Cups, somebody that is completely of illusion, stuck in their dark side, can't balance their shadow, can't even integrate it. Like, these people have literally called upon the worst things, and then they think that it's going to come for you. And it's funny to me. You're not in alignment with receiving abuse. Okay. So just let these people do whatever they need to do. When you do produce this body of work, it's going to influence the masses to do better. And that's when you're going to come into this star power that is undeniable. And people will absolutely love you, and some people will not love you, because there are a bunch of people that do not want, you know, people becoming freed of their oppression. They want people stuck and bound in limitations like they are. But that's okay. The Chariot. Because you're going to be protected. I feel like the police are making you a priority when it comes to these people. If they're trying to do anything to counteract what you've created or to come against you, they're barking up the wrong tree with this. All right, let's get a conclusion. Let's get the likes up, you guys, please, and thank you. I really appreciate you guys for liking the video. It really helps. It really helps. And let other people know about this platform. Tap the notification bell. Make sure you're subscribed. Nine of Wands. You have not done anything to injure anybody, but these people still feel wounded. I feel like they just need to go within. And just like you go within and heal, they need to do the same thing. But they're afraid of themselves. Could you imagine being afraid of yourself? Like, these people, they know that why they're having a reversal of their fortune and why they're going to be left penniless, poor, without a home, without a job, is because of what they tried to do to you. They know that. Four of Wands, because they wanted to get their hands on your projects and it's not their place. like straight up. Always taking things out of context is very dangerous. It's also just dangerous to hurt and harm others. I suggest that everybody just be a little bit more respectful. Understand that everybody's allowed to have their own point of view, but when it comes to God's point of view, nobody is going to be changing that. Okay? Nobody's going to be changing what the divine realm thinks and feels is the best for everybody, which God is the best. God is the answer. God is going within. God is finding yourself. The magician. These people may blame you and act like you do magic, and maybe you do magic, but you don't do it on others. You do it on yourself. And I don't think there's anything wrong with you using magic to protect yourself or to advance yourself. Okay? I would call it manifestation, but these people, they believe that you're over here bippity boppity booping things into existence, and that's not what's happening. We don't live in a reality where you can bippity boppity boop shit into existence. We just don't. The magic that's done in this world is completely different. It's not bippity bop. It's not Harry Potterville, you know. You also have not done anything to take from anyone else. This is why you're going to be provided for. Two of Wands. Your ideas are prospering. You guys are here to thrive. So I think you should continue looking at the world like your oyster. Continue to move forward. Don't let these people get you down. Don't let these people get you upset or in your feelings. When they come for your jugular, just know that God is not going to allow anything to happen to you, because you are a part of a bigger picture, one that these people do not see because they don't have the eyes to look with. Even if they had the shining, these people would still be wasting their time trying to figure out how to abuse the shit to hurt people. And it'll never happen. Five of Cups. You're going to leave these people in regret, but I feel like it's their own action that's leaving them in regret. Crying over spilt milk. Shoulda, coulda, woulda type energy. Yeah, these people are also separating from one another. They realized that they were barking up the wrong tree and messing with the wrong person. And now they're probably facing a court case. Catching court cases left and right. Getting 10 swords put in their back. All because they didn't want to see you be able to stand on your own 2 feet. And they didn't want you to have a soul contract with the universe, because they know that you being connected to God gives you a power that they'll never hold, a strength that they will never possess. Not one of these people who are weak-minded, who think that the God's words are what another human person wrote down. No. God is love, joy, compassion, and peace. Okay? These people don't understand that love is more powerful than fear. God is more powerful than darkness. God created darkness and light to contrast each other. And these people are left carrying the burdens. They're only in the 10 of Swords because that's what they wanted for you. Okay? They're over here losing their money, losing their investments, and they're still waiting for these people are crazy to me. They're still waiting for your blessings to come to them when they have a whole death in the reversal of their fortune. They're not getting their hands on anything that you possess. Like, seriously. That's crazy to me. That's crazy. That they're like, in the future, they're probably still going to be waiting for this witchcraft to work. And the devil is completely making a fool out of these people the entire time. The Hierophant. Whatever this religious group is, these people are going to find out that, yeah, real God does exist. People that are not connected to whatever organization that they're bound to, other people have connections to God, to real God, not a God that they give a name, but actual higher self, love, joy, compassion, and peace. And that's what I consider God to be, the positive that exists. The way that fell out right now was so funny. The 8 of Swords, this Hierophant group, they're going to have to restrict these people, especially from using and abusing whatever it is that they worship. Because again, these people are going to find out in the worst way that they were connected to the devil, and they're going to feel really fucking stupid for that. And also, this Hierophant group defending this Queen of Wands that's clearly working with the devil, that's some stupid shit right there. Like, they deserve to be slapped out for that. 10 of Pentacles and the 10 of Cups. You guys have everything that you need within you to succeed. You have everything that you need to purchase a home, to move forward, to move on. And these people can't do anything about that. It may make them uncomfortable, but other than them being uncomfortable, you're not causing any threat to them. Like, you being connected to God does not threaten these people. Their own stupidity is their own problem. They're going to be in the Nine of Swords in deep regret, unable to move forward, grieving. Because these people did this because they were bored. They wanted you to sell out, and because you wouldn't sell out, then they tried to betray you. And again, unable to do that as well. So you guys continue to move forward. You're getting your wishes granted. It feels to me like everything is going to work out for you just fine because your intention was good. And literally, I feel like anybody that wants to argue with what you came here to do for higher self God is going to have to answer to a higher self. Like, they're going to have to answer to their own divine. Everybody has a divine connection. It fades away if you don't ever use it. And these people, they think that what divinity is Satan. They believe that, like, literally that whatever they have written down in a book makes them better than everybody else. And it's just not true. So you guys continue to move forward. Don't let these people make you feel like you're not welcome. You are loved. There are going to be people that don't like you. But remember, those people that are uncomfortable with you, they just don't like seeing somebody that has power. And so that's not your fault. It's literally not your fault. And you can't blame these people because they're so stupid. Like, I can't even, they're so ignorant to themselves. I don't even feel the need to blame them. But what they're not going to do, they're not going to put you up under judgment. They're not going to make God change the way that God feels about you. And they're not going to be able to take anything from you. These people, they have to answer to Satan. And then they also have to answer for who they were trying to back up. And like, literally, you know, they wanted to back up the devil. This is why it's the end of a battle for you. You're not going to have to fight these people anymore. Okay, you guys. So thank you for making it to the ending of this reading. If you guys are interested in learning to read cards for yourself and for others, Vassago Tarot Card Spreads and Spells is the book that you want. And the link to this book is in the description box below. Okay, if you want to know more about this book, go back to the beginning of this reading because I actually read from it and I go into depth of how it's structured. But it will teach you how to read cards for yourself and for others. And for those of you that want to develop your own connection to God, that want to go within and want to use the techniques that you see me use in all of the readings, the Truth of God Advanced into Living Workbook is the book that's going to help you. The link to that's in the description box below. There's also a link to the ebook version of it if you're like in Australia or some other place where Amazon won't create it. You can do the e-Kindle version of it, which I found out about last night. Okay, you guys? All right. And also the original Rider-Waite deck. Remember, if you learn to read the cards in this deck, you can go to any other deck and you'll know what the cards mean when they give you an abstract picture. Okay, you guys? So if you're interested in those books and learning about that stuff, go back to the beginning of this reading where I talk about it. But I am so grateful to be with you guys. I'm so happy that you guys spend your time with me. I'm so happy that you guys love God, and I'm so proud of you. So keep moving forward, okay? I love you guys so much. Peace be with you. Please like this video, share this content, tap the notification bell, make sure you're subscribed. I also have another platform called the Psychic Tarot Angel Oracle. Make sure you guys watch all of the readings. Each reading is going to hold an Easter egg of personal knowledge for you to decode. Okay? All right, you guys. I love you so much. Peace be with you. I'll see you in the next reading. Bye.